There is a colleague in the company with a blaming personality. I accidentally took the wrong cup of a colleague. After apologizing to the colleague, she accused me. You took the wrong cup today, and tomorrow you might take someone else's work achievements. The day after tomorrow, you could even take someone else's boyfriend. You say it was a mistake, but who knows what's really on your mind. I didn't argue with her. The next day, I arrived at the company just in time. She insisted on dragging me to the president's office for a confrontation, saying she was clearly 12 seconds late and must be deducted some money. If we don't teach her a lesson today, she'll just be absent from work directly in the future. Later, she really kept an eye on me. Whenever I made the slightest mistake, she would scold me severely and tattle on me to our superiors. Under her constant blaming and gaslighting, my psychological pressure gradually increased, and I made more and more mistakes. On the day I resigned, I heard her calling her family to show off. The annoying one is finally gone. There will be no one to compete with me for the position of supervisor in the future. A surge of anger welled up in my heart, and I rushed over to argue with her. As a result, she pushed me off the high-rise building. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day she first arrived. Looking at the colleague's cup in my hand, I realized that I had been reborn. Sure enough, as soon as I finished apologizing to my colleague, the next second, Emily's scolding voice rang out in my ears. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. You took the wrong cup today, and tomorrow you might take someone else's work achievements. The day after tomorrow, you could even take someone else's boyfriend. You say it was a mistake, but who knows what's really on your mind. In my previous life, another colleague tried to smooth things over, but Emily still wouldn't let it go, saying that I was careless and couldn't even recognize my own cup. It's okay. It's okay. My colleague Alice waved her hands repeatedly, looking extremely embarrassed. Obviously, she also didn't want a small matter like me taking the wrong cup to cause a bigger commotion. Sister Georgia has already apologized to me. It's not a big deal. However, Emily just snorted coldly and still wouldn't let it go. Alice, you didn't take a single word I said to heart. Just you wait. When your work achievements are also taken by her, you'll know how serious this is. The three of us soon became the center of attention, and other colleagues looked over when they heard the commotion. Seeing this, Emily became even more self-righteous, as if the gazes of our colleagues were backing her up. Everyone, keep an eye on your own things. Don't let someone take them away under the pretext of taking the wrong one. Then they can just say sorry, and if we pursue it, we'll seem like we're being unreasonable. I just let Emily keep talking, giving her plenty of room to show off. Now that her turn was over, it was my turn to step in. I calmly said, Emily, I didn't see clearly just now, so I took Alice's cup by mistake. I've already apologized to her, and Alice doesn't take this matter to heart. It's all in the past for the two of us. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? Emily opened her mouth, and just as she was about to speak, I interrupted her. It was my time to shine now. Are you trying to stir up trouble among colleagues? You should at least hide it a bit. You're being too blatant. Look at how you've messed up our department. How can everyone work like this? Emily, do you know what this of yours is called? A nitpicker. Being a nitpicker is the most taboo thing in the workplace. People like you are the most annoying. You'd better change your ways in the future. I'm doing this for your own good too. Emily opened her mouth wide, momentarily stunned and unable to say a word in response to my retort. I shook my head and looked at her disappointedly. Emily, how come I never realized you were such a person before? You really let me down. I even respected you as my senior. But now, you're really not that great. I quickly stepped back and raised my hands. No way. I don't dare to talk to you anymore. Who would dare to associate with a nitpicker? It's easy to get into trouble. Everyone, stay away from her too. I quickly left as if avoiding dog poop, as if Emily was something really awful. In fact, she really was. After a while, Emily's shrill scream came from behind me. She exploded, Georgia, what's wrong with you? You're the one who made a mistake. How dare you say that about me? How can you shift the blame? I had already sat down at my work desk. Hearing this, I sighed and said to everyone, "See, this is how she is. I can't do anything about it. I just accidentally took Alice's cup and already apologized. But she just won't let it go. I'm like a guinea pig here. You all have to be careful in the future. Don't make even the slightest mistake. It'll be bad if she targets you." Emily rushed over. "Georgia, come on. Enough," a straightforward colleague said impatiently. "Are you going to keep going on like this? It's just about taking the wrong cup. Haven't you ever taken the wrong thing in your life? We're all colleagues. Let's be forgiving." Although the others didn't say anything, the way they looked at Emily turned extremely disgusted. Emily's face turned red, but she still didn't know when to shut up. "Georgia, I quickly made a shushing gesture. "Shoo, Emily, can you stop making a noise? Everyone is working. You're the only one shouting, and you're ruining the working environment." "Emily, I was just making her taste the bitterness of swallowing her pride for now. Don't worry, this is just the beginning." Sure enough, that night, I received a call from our department manager. "Georgia, help me pick up the invoice tomorrow. But that store will open at 7:40. You don't need to punch in tomorrow, and I'll let them know." "Okay," I replied. In my previous life, I was 10 seconds late because I went to pick up the invoice for the manager. Unexpectedly, Emily was waiting by the time clock, ready to catch me. I was already looking forward to facing Emily the next day. After getting the invoice the next day, I rushed back to the company immediately. Just like in my previous life, I was 10 seconds late. And just like in my previous life, Emily was already waiting by the time clock, staring closely at her wristwatch. I walked over and made a move to punch in. Emily sternly rebuked me. 10 seconds late. What's wrong with you? Georgia, you took someone else's thing by mistake yesterday, and today you're late. Do you still want this job? Do you really think the company can't function without you? I'm telling you, if you can't do it, there are plenty of people who can. She grabbed my wrist and dragged me towards the elevator. Come on, go with me to see the president. Colleagues passing by all looked over. I didn't argue with her and just let Emily make a big fuss. Anyway, the more she made a scene, the more everyone would dislike her. Although the gaslighting effect is really annoying, I don't mind using it a bit. I was dragged into the president's office by Emily. The president didn't even know who the two of us were. When he saw Emily dragging me in so vigorously, he was stunned for a full 2 seconds. Emily dragged me in front of the president. "President, I'm Emily from the project department, and she's my colleague Georgia. Yesterday, she carelessly took the wrong cup of a colleague. Our colleague didn't hold it against her, but just because the victim can consider it a small matter. She, who made the mistake, has no right to think it's a small matter, right? Not only did she not take it seriously, but she was also late for work today. Although she was only 10 seconds late, the time clock is there, and being 10 seconds late is still being late. I work every minute and second. I come to the company early every day. But she, on the other hand, dared to be late just after making a mistake yesterday. Although these are all small matters, when all these small matters accumulate, it can be really scary. President, I suggest punishing her. Otherwise, us hardworking employees will be disheartened." President, he didn't show much displeasure. The corners of his lips curled up into a faint arc. "You can just report this matter to your department supervisor." Emily of course didn't want to let it go like this. "But President," I stopped her. "Come on, Emily. The president is busy with a lot of important matters. How can he have the time to deal with your trivial matters? I really don't know what you were thinking." Disturbing the president because of this. After complaining, I bowed deeply to the president and explained, "President, I was late because the manager asked me to pick up the invoice from the stationery store. So, I've actually been working since I left home this morning." Emily is just like this. She always makes a small matter known to everyone. Today, She even brought it to you. I apologize to you on behalf of Emily. We'll solve this matter back in our department. The president responded indifferently. Emily suddenly realized something and raised her voice again. Georgia, you set me up. She pointed at me and complained to the president. President, she set me up. Since she went to pick up the invoice, why didn't she tell me in advance? She just wanted me to make a big deal out of this and bring it to you. Now, in your eyes, I've become the unreasonable one. President, this is her scheme. I pulled her out. Emily, don't disturb the president anymore. Emily shook me off forcefully. Who are you pretending to be a good person? Don't you just want the president to think that I'm being nitpicky? Georgia, how can you be so calculating? President, a person with such deep scheming and always thinking about intrigue should never be kept in the company. The president's face darkened slightly. Just then, the president's secretary came in. The president gave her a look, and she immediately understood. She helped me pull Emily out. The president is going to have a meeting. After being pulled out of the president's office, Emily started complaining about me to the president's secretary. The president's secretary immediately lost her good temper and rebuked her in a cold voice. You're bothering the president because of such a small matter, Emily retorted. Why do you also think this is a small matter? You're the president's secretary. You should regard the company as your home the most here. If everyone is as calculating as her, can you make up for the losses brought to the company? President's secretary. She didn't show any more kindness to Emily and said sternly, I'm telling you to go back to your department first. If you keep making a scene here, go to the finance department to settle your salary. Don't think that just because you signed a labor contract. The president's secretary paused slightly as if she had realized something and directly exposed Emily's true face. Could it be that you've already found another job and want to switch jobs? But you also want to get the N+1 compensation. So you're deliberately making a scene to get the company to fire you. Of course, I knew it wasn't like that, but I still gasped in surprise. So that's it, Emily. You're going too far, aren't you? Emily looked at the president's secretary and then at me, stamping her feet in a hurry. Of course not. I didn't. If you didn't, then what are you making a fuss about? The president's secretary scolded and then looked at me. Hurry up and take her back. I'll report this matter to your department. Emily still wanted to say something, but I just dragged her away. Stop making a scene. Emily, do you really want to make the company in chaos before you're satisfied? Emily, as soon as we got into the elevator, I immediately let go of her. I found her disgusting. Emily still didn't understand how things had turned out like this. Clearly, every time she caught someone else's mistake, but every time it seemed that in the end, it became her fault. She turned her anger on me again. Georgia, are you playing tricks behind my back? If you want to compete with me for the position of supervisor, there's no need to use such despicable means, is there? There was a surveillance camera in the elevator. I turned my back to the camera, lowered my head slightly, and gave Emily a contemptuous smile. I whispered, idiot. Emily went crazy again, like a firecracker that could be set off at any moment. Georgia, you bitch. I pointed at the surveillance camera above. Emily, the camera is recording. Stop going crazy. I'm just reminding you for your own good. You should be grateful to have someone as nice as me. Alas, it's just that I'm kind-hearted and still thinking of you. I can't help it. Who told me to be so easy to bully? You're hitting cotton when you hit me. How is it? Warm, right. Happy, right. Emily, I guess the subtext in her heart now is, this is how people are driven crazy. When we got back to the department, the supervisor was already waiting. Emily, what's wrong with you? Did you take the wrong medicine? You got me and the manager scolded together. I think you don't want to work here anymore. Being scolded in front of all the colleagues in the department. Emily was both angry and wronged. Supervisor, I'm doing this for the good of the company. The supervisor didn't listen to Emily's excuse at all. The manager is furious and waiting for you in his office now. Hurry up and go. Then he looked at me, still in a bad mood. Georgia, You go too and explain what exactly happened. I nodded repeatedly. Okay. Supervisor. The supervisor gave Emily another glare. I guess you don't want me to leave the company. Right. You caused such a big mess and even made a scene in the president's office. I kindly reminded her. Emily, come on. Let's go to the manager's office first. Emily clenched her lower lip and glared at me fiercely. Although she didn't want to, she still went to the manager's office. The manager was also extremely angry. As soon as he saw Emily, he roared, "What on earth do you want to do? What's the big deal? Tell me. Come on. I also want to know what this so-called big deal is that I, the department manager, can't solve for you. And you had to go over my head and make a scene in the president's office. If you were in the right and could make a valid point, that would be one thing. But not only did you get scolded yourself, you also got me lectured by the president's secretary. Emily, do you not want to work here anymore? If you can't do the job, then get out. There are plenty of people who can do it if you can't." Emily waited until the manager had finished speaking before she opened her mouth. "Manager, I really did it for the good of the company." She suddenly pointed at me. "It's her. She went to pick up the invoice but didn't tell me. She deliberately let me catch her being late." The manager was so angry that he couldn't help but swear. "Who the hell do you think you are? So, she has to inform you just because she went to pick up an invoice from me. Do I also have to ask your permission in advance if I want to ask Georgia for help? If you don't agree, I can't ask Georgia for help." "Right. What was it you said yesterday? That if she can take the wrong water cup today, she can take someone else's work achievements tomorrow. Do you think you're in charge of this company? Should I go and get the invoice myself then? I can't ask someone else to do it for me. Am I in the wrong?" Emily was anxious. "No, manager. I really did it for the good of our company. Doing it for the good of our company means getting me and our whole department scolded. And it wasn't even the president who personally criticized us, but the president's secretary, realizing that he had said something wrong and might seem to be looking down on the president's secretary. In order not to offend anyone, the department manager quickly changed his words. "Emily, for getting the whole department scolded, you'll be fined 1 month's salary. I don't want to see you right now. Get out and do your work." Emily, she wasn't completely stupid after all. She didn't continue to make excuses for herself and nodded respectfully before going out. The department manager let out a long sigh and muttered something silently that I didn't hear. I handed him the invoice. "Sorry, manager. Here's the invoice. What are you apologizing for?" The department manager took the invoice. "Well, thank you. You can go out and do your work too." When I went out, everyone was looking at Emily with schadenfreude. Actually, Emily has been like this since the day she joined the company. She's been acting neurotic and keeps saying, "I hope everyone treats the company as their own home," without thinking about who she is to even have such hopes. Everyone has been extremely fed up with her for a long time. They just choose not to argue with her. This time, our supervisor is going to immigrate, so he has submitted his resignation to the company and will leave next month. With the supervisor's position vacant, Emily has become even more delusional. She's been making a lot of noise all day long, acting like she's already the supervisor and keeping an eye on everyone. And I'm her main target because I'm also competing for the supervisor's position. She wants to push me out and show her loyalty to the higher-ups. I don't know if she got her wish and became the supervisor in my previous life, but in this life, she doesn't even stand a chance. When she saw me come out, Emily stopped hysterically accusing me. Instead, she sneered and slightly raised her voice. "Georgia, are you satisfied now that I've been criticized by both the manager and the supervisor? I really had the worst luck being colleagues with you. Everyone, be careful. Some people may seem easy to get along with and harmless on the outside, but you don't know how they're scheming against everyone on the inside. Don't blame me for not warning you. Don't be schemed against by our virtuous Georgia and still count the money for her." I smiled. "Emily, stop it. Everyone is already tired from work, and having to hear your shrill voice is really torturous. Actually, everyone knows what's going on. I went to pick up the invoice for the manager this morning, and the manager also said that I didn't need to punch in and that he would let them know. You also know the whole story, but you still say these things and insist on putting the blame on me. I don't mind, and neither will everyone else. But outside of our company, you have to be careful all the time. After all, apart from our colleagues, who else will be as tolerant of you as we are? Emily gasped. Georgia. You. Shoo. I said softly. Stop talking. We just want to work in a quiet environment. Emily. She wanted to say something more, but I directly put on my earphones and said to everyone, Emily's voice is really too noisy. I'm going to put on my earphones. If you have anything to say to me, just come and pat me. Some people also put on their earphones. Emily was once again forced to swallow her anger. I hope she doesn't get so angry that she dies. I'm not done playing with her yet. Emily doesn't just keep an eye on me. In her eyes, everyone who joined the company around the same time as her is her competitor. She's too eager to show off. After being severely scolded last time, she didn't stay quiet for a few days before going crazy again. Come on, female colleagues, look over here. Emily stood in the middle of the department and clapped her hands. When she said that, not only the female colleagues but everyone looked over at her. Emily was very satisfied and solemnly announced, I will propose to the higher-ups that the company will stop providing free sanitary napkins and tampons for female colleagues starting next month. This will save the company a large sum of money, and it's also a contribution that we female employees make to the company. After she said this, there was an eerie silence. Seeing that everyone was silent, Emily took it as our acquiescence and nodded in satisfaction. I'll go and report this to the manager right away. The female colleague next to me was about to speak, but I stopped her. I said loudly, let her go and report it. Emily gave me a cold look and went to the department manager's office. The moment she turned around, I caught a fleeting look of pride on her face, as if she was about to make a great contribution again. When Emily entered the department manager's office, the whole department became lively. The female colleague next to me was the first to start complaining. What's wrong with her? Is she really that unhappy about the benefits the company provides for us? It's not her money. Isn't she a woman? Didn't she enjoy these benefits? Why don't we just tell her directly that she won't be able to get the supervisor's position like this? No need to tell her. Let her act up. Sooner or later, she'll drive herself out. Just wait and see. The male colleagues didn't care about the matter, but they also chimed in. You see, this is where women are not as good as us men. We men are united. We're united unconditionally. That's right. The female colleague next to me rolled her eyes. If a male colleague stood up today and proposed that the company take back your benefits, would you still be united with him? Then we'd unite and drive that idiot out of the company. Just then, Emily and the department manager came out, and everyone fell silent again. The manager walked to the center of the room with no expression on his face, making it impossible to tell what he was really thinking. You all know about Emily's proposal, right? It's about the female hygiene products. So, female colleagues, what do you think? I stood up. I object. Other female colleagues also stood up. We all object. Manager. These are benefits given to us by the higher-ups. You can't just cancel them for us, can you? The money saved won't go into your pockets either. The department manager's face darkened, and he gave Emily a disapproving sidelong glance. Emily suddenly stepped forward and stood in front of the department manager. Male colleagues, don't think this has nothing to do with you. To make contributions to the company, you also need to do your part. I also propose that the company will no longer provide free toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Are you kidding me? The male colleagues then stood up. This was no longer a matter that didn't concern them. What's wrong with you, Emily? We have to pay for the toilet paper ourselves. I joined our company because of these benefits in the first place. Are you going to cancel all of them? Not leaving us anything. Some of the newly joined male colleagues are young and full of spirit. Since they joined the company, they've been determined to rectify the workplace and don't show any leniency to Emily. Not even to the department manager. Manager, I protest. Do you also agree with Emily's proposal? He took out his phone. Come on. Let's record a video and let netizens judge fairly. Only then did the department manager speak. I didn't agree. Don't worry. I won't suck up to the higher-ups like this. Upon hearing this, Emily turned around abruptly. Manager. The department manager was extremely impatient. Now you know what everyone thinks. Can you please think before you make suggestions? If the company cared about this money, why didn't it just not provide these benefits to everyone in the first place? Seriously, why are you causing so much trouble all the time? You just calmed down for 2 days and then you started again. Do you really want to make our department a mess? Can you do the job or not? If you can't, then get out. Emily was at a loss for words. Manager, get to work now. The manager growled and went back to his office with his hands behind his back. Emily was so angry, but she didn't dare to lose her temper with the department manager. So, she started pointing at us. Are you satisfied now? I just asked you to save some money for the company. Why are you so reluctant? Will buying some sanitary napkins once a month really make you go broke? And you men, all you think about all day long is using the toilet. The toilet paper isn't from your own home, so you just waste it. A bottle of hand sanitizer is used up in a few days. I'm thinking about the company with all my heart, but now, I've become the sinner of the company instead. She shook her head in disappointment. The company will definitely go bankrupt with you all here. The colleagues looked at each other, and no one said anything. In the afternoon, I heard Emily on the phone in the pantry. The supervisor's position will definitely be mine. The colleagues in our department are now so obedient under my control that no one dares to talk back to me. But that day after work, something happened to Emily. She stayed in the company to work overtime to show off and didn't leave until the early hours of the morning. On her way home, she was put in a sack and beaten up severely. There was no surveillance on that road, and nothing could be found out. Emily didn't come to the company until a little after 10 o'clock the next morning. I deliberately asked her in front of everyone, Emily, why are you just coming now? You're already several hours late. Don't you think you should go and confess to the president? Emily had a bruised face and glared at me fiercely. I took a leave of absence. Emily, what happened to you? I pointed at her face. How could you be so careless? Emily squinted her eyes slightly, scanned the room, and said coldly, don't think I don't know. It was you guys who did it. It's better if you come and confess to me. If I find out who did it, you won't get away with it. When she went to the pantry to get water and take medicine, she was on the phone again. I will definitely find out. When I become the supervisor, I'll fire them all. They've gone too far. They actually dared to lay a hand on me. I walked in with a smile. Emily immediately hung up the phone. What are you doing? You're eavesdropping on people's conversations. Do you have any manners? I exaggeratedly sighed. Emily, not only am I disappointed in you now, but everyone is also disappointed in you. You should reflect on yourself. Why do everyone dislike you and no one else? Emily raised her chin. Dislike me. Soon they'll come and fawn over me. She looked me up and down with a contemptuous look in her eyes. Georgia, I know what you're thinking. But you'd better make other plans as soon as possible. It seems that she's determined to get the supervisor's position. What other tricks can she come up with? At 9 o'clock on Monday morning, during the department meeting, the supervisor officially announced his resignation. Over the years, thank you all for your cooperation. It's been my honor to work with you. I also believe that as long as our department is united, there's no project we can't complete. Before I leave, I've also fought for a benefit for everyone. That is, the supervisor's position will be selected from within our department. Everyone has a chance. Work hard. Amid the applause of the colleagues, the supervisor scanned the room, smiled slightly, and said, you can continue with your work, and then went back to his office. I instinctively looked at Emily. She was standing up straight, determined to get the supervisor's position. But she was much quieter today and didn't accuse anyone. Of course, I don't believe she's changed for the better. for the supervisor's position. She directly killed me in my previous life. How could such a person change? Sure enough, the next day, Emily started again. As soon as she entered the door, everyone noticed the change in her. Emily, you look so beautiful today. Emily, you really suit the color red. This dress really shows off your figure. I really didn't expect Emily to have such a good figure. With the compliments from the colleagues, a smile bloomed on Emily's face. I saw that you all dressed up nicely, so I couldn't fall behind. Right. We're all the face of the company and can't bring shame to the company. She sat down at her workstation and started doing her own thing. To be honest, Emily really has strong working abilities. Although I don't like her, I have to admit this. But whether it was in my previous life or this life, she doesn't seem to have confidence in her own working abilities. When it was almost noon, Emily walked towards the manager's office with a piece of information in her hand. I noticed a small gesture of hers when she got up and adjusted her skirt. I might be thinking the worst of her, but isn't Emily a petty person herself? When I saw her enter the manager's office, I immediately went there too and knocked on the door and entered after a while. Manager. Emily's chest was pressed against the manager's shoulder, and she was rubbing against him. The manager pushed her away and stood up, saying sternly, Emily, what are you doing? Emily's face turned red. She quickly pulled up her collar and glared at me hatefully. Georgia, why did you come in without knocking? I pretended to be flustered and apologized repeatedly. Manager, I'm sorry, but I did knock. The manager's face was extremely bad. He told Emily to get out and kept me behind, indirectly criticizing Emily. I don't know if the manager would have made a move if I had come in a little later, but I've finally caught Emily's little secret. I also euphemistically told the manager that I wouldn't talk too much. After reporting my work, I left. Before I could get back to my workstation, Emily pulled me out. It was the rooftop again. This time, I stayed far away from the edge. Emily questioned me frantically. Did you do it on purpose? Georgia, do you think you can hold something against me like this? I'm telling you, the supervisor's position will definitely be mine. I must get the supervisor's position. I must be the supervisor. She started mumbling to herself, as if she had gone crazy. I looked at her coldly. She continued talking to herself. I have to get ahead. I can't be caught by them and married off to that old bachelor. If that happens, my whole life will be ruined. Only then did I understand everything. No wonder she was so obsessed with the supervisor's position. In her previous life, she even killed people to get rid of her competitors. It turned out that she was trying to escape her original family. Then why didn't she just say it? All of us would have helped her, except for a few colleagues. The atmosphere in our company is quite good. Everyone is united and friendly. But now it's all too late. Even if Emily asked me for help, I wouldn't help her. She's my enemy. An enemy is an enemy, no matter what her reasons are. Since she killed me, she doesn't deserve my pity. I'm 35 years old. Emily continued talking to herself. If I still achieve nothing, they will definitely force me to get married. I stepped back slowly and only spoke when I was close to the rooftop door. That's your business and has nothing to do with me. Emily broke down. You're also a woman. I don't ask you to sympathize with me. But why can't you understand me a little? Do you think I want to dress like this? Do you think I don't despise myself when I was trying to seduce the manager just now? But what can I do? I have no choice. I really have no choice. I didn't say anything more to provoke her and opened the door and went downstairs. I don't know how long it took for Emily to come back. She looked lost and dejected, with none of her usual sharpness. I became the new supervisor. My colleagues applauded and came to congratulate me. Sister Georgia, congratulations. You have to take care of us more in the future. I knew it would be Sister Georgia. After all, Sister Georgia's abilities are obvious. I thanked everyone and glanced at Emily outside the crowd with my peripheral vision. There was such a contrast between loneliness and hustle and bustle. Emily and I seemed to be in two different worlds. She just sat there quietly, and the world seemed dark around her. Only a beam of light shone on her. illuminating her loneliness and sadness. I coldly withdrew my gaze and continued chatting and laughing with my colleagues, and said that I would treat everyone to dinner tonight. Emily naturally didn't go to the celebration with us, but after the party, on my way home, she rode an electric bike and charged straight at me. I dodged to the side and fell to the ground. Emily got off the bike and pounced on me, pinning me to the ground and hitting me frantically. "Georgia, you've ruined me. You go to hell. You go to hell." I pushed her away with all my strength, quickly turned over and sat on her.
Spoke first. "Georgia, you're happy to see me like this, aren't you?" She was wrong. I wasn't happy at all. I even thought that it would be better if she just died directly. I wanted to take revenge on her, but not like this. "Why aren't you talking?" When Emily spoke to me, her face seemed to regain a little luster. "I killed you in my previous life. Now that you see me living a life worse than death, shouldn't you be happy?" I was slightly surprised. "You? How do you know?" She actually awakened the memories of her previous life. I took a deep breath. "It's just as well that you know. Otherwise, I really wouldn't be able to explain it clearly. Now do you know why I was so against you?" Emily gave a bitter smile. "This outcome of mine should have been what happened to me in my previous life. In fact, I didn't have a good life in my previous life either. Do you think I could really get away with murder? I was executed. That's why I was reborn too," Emily said. So she was reborn, not that she awakened her previous memories. "Did you come to me just to tell me this?" Hatred suddenly flashed in Emily's eyes, but she didn't say anything. I looked into her eyes. "Do you hate me?" "Emily, I know what you want to say. You want to tell me that you had your reasons for targeting me, that you just wanted to succeed so that you could get away from your original family. But Emily, your enemy shouldn't be me, right? You also shouldn't have stepped on me to climb up. This society has let you down, and your parents have let you down, but I haven't." Emily's tears suddenly fell. I didn't say anything more and got up and left. When I reached the door of the coffee shop, I couldn't help but look back at Emily. She was still sitting there, her shoulders trembling. I left the coffee shop, closed the door, and isolated the world with Emily in it behind me. A few days later, I got news about Emily again. I saw the news about her in the legal section. Emily had killed people. The victims included her parents, that Bob, and the baby in her belly. But because our colleagues had previously posted the matter of Emily being taken back by her parents and forced to get married online, now netizens were all on Emily's side, saying that she had done the right thing and that those people deserved to die. Naturally, such remarks were not allowed. So, all the comments on the news about Emily were closed, and netizens were not allowed to discuss it anymore. But there were still people speaking out. A year later, the verdict on Emily's case came out. It wasn't the death penalty, but life imprisonment. Netizens were satisfied with this result. After all, she did kill people and really has to take legal responsibility. But I still think those people deserve to die. Emily is a hero. A comment from an insider attracted a lot of attention. Poor people always have something worth to hate. Emily used to make things difficult for her colleagues in the company in order to get promoted. She even flattered her superiors and proposed that the company cancel the benefits for female employees, stop providing free sanitary napkins, and make everyone buy their own toilet paper and hand sanitizer. She was always against our current supervisor for the position of supervisor. So, people have many sides. Don't think she's that poor either. Soon, netizens found me through these comments. Now that Emily has been sentenced to life imprisonment, are you happy? If you had given the supervisor's position to Emily back then, maybe she wouldn't have ended up like this. Georgia, you're the one who caused Emily's downfall. Of course, most netizens were still rational. Georgia, this isn't your fault. Don't blame yourself. Emily's desire to get away from her original family wasn't wrong, but her enemy wasn't you. Georgia, come on, just be yourself. It's okay. It's okay. Colleague Alice waved her hands repeatedly, looking extremely embarrassed, because soon the heat of this matter will fade away, and everyone will be attracted to more hot news. The online world is like this, and everyone still has to live their own lives. A few days later, I received a letter. It was from Emily to me. The whole letter only had 3 words. I'm sorry. I stared at the letter for a while, then threw the letter paper into the trash can. picked up the trash and went downstairs to throw it into the trash can outside. The name, Emily, was like this trash, completely leaving my life. And I still have a long way to go. I want to go even further and higher.